What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the Mast Landing Brewing Company, and they are out of Westbrook, Maine, and this is their all the way up the Blackberry Lime variant. So they're calling this one a sour ale that is brewed with blackberries, limes, and lactose. It comes in at 4.8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just over 5 months old, and I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Caleb, for hooking me up with this one. So thank you very much, Caleb. You know, I appreciate it. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Caleb hooked me up with. And yeah, Mast Landing. So we do get distro of Mast Landing beers here in Western New York now. And I believe I've seen another all the way up. I think they have like 20 or 30 different varieties and variants of the all the way up series. Basically just sour ale brewed with different fruits and whatnot. But I've never had one. But I love Mast Landing for one reason and one reason only. They're Gunner's Daughter. One of the best sub 6% beers I've ever had. One of the best peanut butter beers I've ever had, even though it doesn't have any peanuts in it. And Caleb was nice enough to send me the bourbon barrel aged Imperial Gunner's Daughter, and I'm going to review that one for my 900th beer review. I cannot wait to get in that one. So it's cool that he sent me one of these, and then he sent me the big, huge barrel aged Imperial Gunner's Daughter. I just can't wait. So yeah, now Blackberry Lime seems to be very prominent and prevalent with a lot of sour beers this summer. I've seen a handful of them being released, a couple here locally. One I tried was from the Beer Tree Brew Company earlier this year, maybe late last year. It was pretty damn good. I love blackberries and limes, so like, yeah, it sounds like a really good mixture. We'll see how this one is. Ooh, big pop. Seems like it might be very carbonated. Oh yeah, looking like, oh, it is. So like I said, right, it might be very carbonated, and it looks like it is. And shout out to the train going by. So, yeah, we might have to, you know, let this sit for a couple minutes here as I pour some more in. And, yeah, I don't want it to go everywhere, so we'll put it over here like this for now. And as you can see, there's a 73 finger head. So the base of the beer, that looks like blackberry juice, right? Deep violet color, very murky and turbid. The fingers literally 4 fingers of head. It has this like pinkish tone to it. It looks, you know, soap sudsy. It looks creamy. It looks fluffy. But yeah, it looks like it's very carbonated. You know why? Because it is. Anyway, let's try to get a nose through this. We'll see. See if I can get a nose. So right off the top, all I'm getting is lime, which is crazy to me. I mean, look at the size of the head. Like, yeah, tart, acidic lime. Not much more to speak of. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I really can't get much past that head. Super carbonated. Let's get into the taste then. Cheers, everyone. All right, so there's a lot of fucking lime here. Holy shit. Wow. I can't recall a beer recently or anytime, like probably within the last year or two, that has had lime in it that is this fucking crazy. There's a lot of lime. Holy fuck. The body on this one, 4.8%. Yeah, it's like higher side of light body. It's thin, which you expect out of a sub 5% beer. The mouthfeel, much like the Never Nude Squared from Goodfire I reviewed, which was the double Sabro dry hop double, what was it, double blackberry fruited sour ale. This has that spritzy, dry, over the top kind of like carbonation to it. That's not fruit smoothie-esque. This is not soft and smooth. It has a lot of carbonation. Right up front though, tons of lime. Fucking lime juice personified. Not even the pith. It's not the rind. It's not the zest. It's lime juice. It's tart. This is very puckering. This is like a full-on sourness from the lime. Pass through the palate, the blackberry hits. And it's, again, more of like a tart, seedy blackberry as opposed to like a real sweet jammy. Let me pour a little bit more in here. All right, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere with this beer. Now that my palate is acclimating itself to the insane amounts of lime in this one, the blackberry is starting to come a little bit stronger. But like I said, it's more tart, seedy, jammy without an overbearing sweetness. The finish on this one, full on fucking dry. There's a pretty decent acidity there too. I don't think I'm gonna get heartburn, but I might by the end of this can probably. even though they're using lactose, I see why they put lactose, because without the lactose in here, I think this one would be like crazy sour, crazy dry, and like no residual sweetness. There's only a little bit of residual sweetness, but I'm not getting lactose in this whatsoever. It's probably keeping the other notes a little bit dialed back, so it's not that crazy. I have to keep it a 100. And I do enjoy this. I like the lime character. I wish there was more blackberry. But yeah, that fucking, the mouthfeel is crazy. And this is overly carbonated to me. This is definitely, shout out to a good friend of mine, a fellow beer tuber, Matt over at Mast Beer Reviews. He uses the tasting note carbonic acid. This is basically that. This is just so carbonated, and it has that kind of acidity to it. It just feels just like crazy on the palate. Caleb has sent me a lot of beers, and most of them have been quite delicious. This is good, but that mouthfeel and the lack of any real like I said, there's a little bit of sweetness, but like a lack of any real sweetness. This is crazy. This is almost drinking like a wine or like a flavored seltzer. That's how like carbonated this is, and that's how like devoid of sugar that this one is. I do enjoy the flavors to some degree, but the mouthfeel and everything, I'm starting to get heartburn now as we speak. The all the way up Blackberry Lime variant from Mast Landing. Oh man. I'm burp. I barely burp when I review, and if I do, I usually say excuse me. It's usually once in a review. I've already burped like 3 times this review. I like this, but I'm going to have to give it a lower grade than I anticipated based on like when I poured it and whatnot. I'm going to give all the way up Blackberry Lime variant. I'm going to give it a high 3.5 out of 5. I'm going to go 3.55 out of 5. It's the best I can do. I got to be honest with you. There's just so much carbonation here, and I wish there was more blackberry. The lime is crazy. It's all over the place for me. I'm going to drink the rest of this, but I'm probably going to A, have heartburn, and B, it's going to be ridiculously gassy, as you could already tell it is. So, yeah, not my favorite from Mast Landing. Like I said, I've had a handful of beers from them. Their Gunner's Jar is fantastic. But this one kind of missed the mark for me. Personally, I'm sure there's people out there that have had this one and enjoy it. Now, again, this is 5 months old, not to the fault of Caleb, to the fault of myself. When he sent me this beer, it was probably around 2 months old, somewhere in that range. So maybe in the last 3 months, the carbonation has really kicked up a notch and the blackberry has left the building, so to speak. But for me, when I'm drinking right now, 3.5 out of 5, can't go really any higher than that. Price and availability, I think when I've seen a variant or two show up here in the Western New York area, these are usually around $16.99, $17.99 4-pack. So for something like this, that's kind of what you anticipate paying, around $4 to $4.50 a can, for $4.25 a can. I don't know what it is at the brewery. I'd imagine probably $16, $17. And availability, wherever you see Mast Landing, we see some of their stuff here in the Western New York area. So if you get Mast Landing, then you probably should see something like this or one of the variants from the All the Way Up series at some point. But Caleb, if you want to let me know what you paid for this one and where you bought it and whatnot, I'd be super appreciative towards you if you did that, because I always like to know where the beer comes from, what people paid for it, because, a lot of people spend their hard-earned money like Caleb did. Like Caleb out of the blue was like, hey, I want to send you a beer mail. And he did. And he sent me, I think, 11 or 12 beers, and fucking, whatever he paid for them, you're talking $60, $70, $80. That is not lost on me. That's why I appreciate whenever anybody sends me shit. Like, I can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. So thanks to Caleb and thanks to everybody out there who has sent me stuff in the past. Like, fucking cool. All I do is review beer on YouTube, and poorly, I must admit. And the fact that you guys send me stuff so I can review it and see what I think about it, can't thank you enough. So appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol at 4.8%. Can't really tell it's alcoholic. Like I said, I'll be honest with you. Like, there's so many places now. This is gonna be a longer review. I didn't anticipate it to be a longer review, but it is. But there's so many places out there now that are doing the whole hard seltzers, but they're doing them in like, let's just make a hard seltzer and then brew it with a bunch of fruit and like get rid of all the sugary sweetness and have it ferment out and whatnot. This kind of tastes like what I'd imagine a hard seltzer, blackberry lime hard seltzer would taste like. It has that much carbonate. It has the carbonation is just through the roof, and then on top of that, you don't have almost any residual sweetness. So this tastes like a fucking blackberry lime hard seltzer. So if you like hard seltzers, you might love this one. That's where I would go with this one. You might love this one. Anyway, Thank you again to Caleb. Truly appreciate it. Thanks to everyone stopping by for another beer review. Like I said, if you've had this one before or any within all the way up series, let me know. That's the whole. I love the comments and people saying, "Hey, I love that," or "I hated that," or whatever the case may be. Get the back and forth going. I love it. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by. To the next one. Cheers.